Hello, everyone. Welcome to LexTalk, World's talk show presented by Clickaway Creators. Today, we have Mr. Samrat Sengupta with us. Mr. Sengupta is the equity partner, heads and manages S. Jalan and Co. at New Delhi. He began his career as an associate advocate at the firm's office in Kolkata. His hard work and perseverance led to his promotion as an equity partner, as I mentioned earlier, after he took the onus of successfully handling and heading the firm's office in Delhi. I actually have a lot to mention, but it's wise enough to hear the good deeds that one did in their own words. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the man himself. Hello, Mr. Sengupta. Welcome to the show. And how are you doing today?
I'm fine, Sagar. Thank you. Thank you for having me in this beautiful platform. I also thank LexTalk to have an opportunity of this interview.
It is all
yeah,
us, sir. Thank you very much for getting some time out of your busy schedule. We just done that you have to fly back to Germany. So I would we
yes,
really appreciate you getting some time out of us for today.
yes.
So without further ado, as I said, we would love to understand about your journey. So if you could tell us in brief about your journey of 18 years in the legal industry and what has been your experience in developing your legal career.
Yes. So see, as every other junior lawyer at the start, they start from the base level. We also advise these people to start from the base level. So I also started my career from a district court. Hmm. Practicing as an individual. Then I shifted my individual practice to High Court. Back then I was in Calcutta because I have studied there and I have started my career from there. Hmm. Then in the year 2008, I joined Jalan, the present firm I'm working with as an equity partner. So there I used to do the documentation. I used to do a lot of documentation, real estate documentation and etc. and that lower courts matter at that point of time. So then they gradually the the focus shifted to high courts, then to other courts, that all in Kolkata. So the biggest break in my career came in 2012 when there is an opportunate moment that our firm wanted an asset to be shifted here. Here in means Delhi. So we had a lot of matters here. Keep on because I have been frequently traveling to Delhi at that point of time. In Delhi High Court, in Supreme Court, and in other courts. Delhi had all the appellate jurisdictions. So I took the opportunity and shifted to Delhi. There was an existing office which we are running. I'm presently handling the bigger office that is in Horse Khas. Uh, so we do a litigation, everything that I will come on later part. What all we are doing now. Now coming here, that is a big challenge. But I found a person from East when coming here. There was a language barrier. There was Delhi is much more faster and professional. I found the infrastructure here, the legal infrastructure is wonderful. It's comparable to any international standards. So coping up to that was a challenge, but thankfully with help of our seniors and the clients there, they keep on migrating, they keep on giving the work. Today we have a much bigger office here, and that has been in a journey of 8 years from that point of time. But I tell you, this journey has really helped me grow as an individual, as an advocate. As an advocate, I started from the district court, as I've told you, then to Calcutta High Court. Then I came here. I've done matter. Supreme Court, Delhi has all the appellate forums. Then all the appellate forums I have been doing. So the application of law, the factual aspect, and I am very proud that I have worked with one of the best minds. Not one of them, but many of the best minds here, like Mr. Rohodgi, Mr. Sundar. I'm even very fortunate to work with them. Their thinking pattern, they're absolutely at a different level. So that has helped me to sharpen my skills. That is one. And secondly, to grow as an individual also. So that is very important. You grow as an advocate, as an individual also. So that is how that is how I've learned many forms of documentation, litigation of course, infrastructure arbitrations, all those things has been done. So that is my journey in a short in this legal field now as I am here.
That's very beautiful, sir. I mean, while I was, for our viewers, while I was going through Mr. Sengupta's profile, and I was very fortunate to go. He's also been part of, I mean, having some of the niche practices, art law and sports law, as part of his specialization.
Yeah.
And my next question is actually about your experience and your area of law. So, if to put it formally, in your experience in the legal industry, what are the areas of law that you have been specialized in? And there's a follow-up question to that. If you can sort of give an overview of the various matters undertaken by you and some of the key disputes that you have worked on in your career so far or recent.
See, in our firm, what we try to do, I'll answer this one. I'm answering your question only. In our firm, what we try to do as an associate, we try to give that person an organic growth. Now, what do you mean by organic growth? Organic growth is to understand a bit of advocacy, what is about, and the specialization. Now, and as a professional advocate, what you can do? There are 3-4 areas, key areas where you can focus on. That is, one is litigation, that is disputes, of which we call. Another is arbitration, of course. It is equally important these days in arbitration. Then in documentation, there's a huge potential in documentation, and the fourth one is the advisory and the compliance and the opinions, all those things. Now, as in my journey, we have always been induced and by our seniors to do all these things. It's not that you do one thing, but yes, there are specializations in that, because a person cannot do everything in a specialized manner. But I'll start by saying what are the sectors that I've worked on. So I've very closely worked with realty, then telecom, then construction industry, specialized on infrastructure, roads, water, and then steel industry, then banking and finance. There's a lot of NBFCs that are our clients. They have many kind of portfolios matters. Then paint industry, two of the major, I'm not name them, but two of the major players in the paint industry are our clients. Now, two of the plywood major in the industry, they are our clients. Then we have a lot of matters doing in the electricity, tariff matters. Then the private fundings and equities and business takeovers and mergers. So these litigations as well as the documentation side, both is there. Now coming to the specialization in litigation, see, I always like the commercial disputes mode. That was my specialization, of course. Now revolving around that commercial specialization as well as the arbitration arising out of those commercial contractual disputes, that is the specialization currently I am doing right now, along with the sports law and art law. But I tell you, the sports law and art law are very evolving subject as in India also. So I'll come to that later. Now, as far as the courts and tribunals, so I have done numerous matters before all of them. I mean, Supreme Court, district courts, tribunals, NCLTs and NCLATs are after 2016. They are the hottest potatoes around this in the news. So there's a lot of matters there. Then the CRC. See, in litigation, I tell back in those days, I mean, pre 2016, in company courts, we had a lot of matters. I'll tell you one matter. There was one winding up matter. Used to company winding up matters. Those days, there is winding up matters. That winding up matter went into appeal in the Supreme Court, where we got a favorable judgment setting aside the winding up. That is very one of the heights in career. And then we have done a lot of matters in Contract Act. Sorry, I can't name the clients here. It's not appropriate to name them, but I'll mention in the gist. In one of our major clients, it is a Section 34 of Arbitration Act. That is a challenge to the award. We did manage to get an award set aside. That is a very tough challenge in Delhi High Court. And we are doing a arbitration in that. Then there are instances when BGs are being kept. There are a lot of orders where we got stay on the encashment of the bank guarantees on different points. That is something we proudly say because what happens with the encashment of bank guarantees, the liquidity of that particular client or the concern is in crunch. So that has a really commercial impact also. Now, when you are doing a commercial matter, you have to also think the commercial aspect of the client. That you have to keep in mind. So that has to go side by side in this one. Now, in banking laws, I tell you, we have done a lot of NBFC arbitration. Now, hire purchase agreements, arbitrations, etc. And there are all those criminal matters, NIX matters. Now, interestingly, we have done a very big matter, I would say, because you can name any at least 8-10 seniors in the Supreme Court. They were engaged in that. This was a land reforms matter that was they also got reported in 2016 SCC. Their Justice, Honorable Justice Thakur and Honorable Justice Gowda was they have decided, they have given a landmark judgment in our favor. So those are their things, and they then matters under the TP Act, family laws, then tax matters, insolvency. Of course, there are many matters in insolvency court that is true. Then I'll come to the arbitration. The arbitration that is happening in India has changed a lot. In sense, there's a developed, graduated a lot. It has come at par the international arbitration that we usually do into the Singapore International Arbitration Council or the LIAC London. London, we don't have a center here. It's in London only. Another institutional arbitration. So it has a portion of delay analysis, which is a bit of engineering involved. Then you go to those applications of Section 9, Section 11, all those things. Then you go into preparation of SOCs. There's a rigorous job. All the pleadings and etc. Then you could do the cross. It's all handled in-house. So what I can take a pride of, this is a thing that I have developed in-house within a team of Delhi and in our other offices. We have our 3 offices, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and we are opening our 2 offices in Hyderabad as well as Chennai, planning to open. Hyderabad is more often in India. So what I can vouch for that all this pan India area, we have specifically developed a high court dedicated arbitration team of lawyers as well as engineers who do this one. So on all those, maybe the claim amount varies from 500 crores to 1,000 crores to 1,500 crores. There's big ticket arbitrations that are happening. So that is one area which I specialize right now. That is my second. And then third is there are real estate document, of course. During the pandemics and just after that, we took 2 big chunks of land. I mean, our clients took big chunk, one in Jhansi, one in Khanna, that is in Punjab. So those things, I mean, preparing the due diligence report, advising the client on any adversities and etc. Then taking over, then the construction, then the licensing part, all those are involved in that. So that is a huge job which runs for around 5-6 months minimum. So that is also handled by I personally have worked into Jhansi and Khanna one. And then there's usual corporate agreements. That is the business takeover, mergers, demergers, all those are there. Then you draft the acquisition schemes and some shareholders agreement, all those things. And interestingly, we have also some of the IT clients for whom we regularly do service agreements. Then we have just recently got one work from one of the clients for their policy formation. They do a very interesting job. They actually set up businesses in African continent. So that is something very interesting. And then recently we also have done a online business agreements. They have come up with an Amazon model, but that's Amazon model business franchisee that they have done. And then documentation in the compliance part, you may say that we do a lot of advisories into FEMA laws, into RBI laws. That these are the things I handle personally. Then there are certain big level tenders that they are my team. There is a dedicated team who handle the tender compliances, etc. So this is the overall thing that we do handle. Along with that, I think this section, there are many litigation. We have, I personally have at least 12, 13 reported judgments. So I don't think this is a proper platform to mention all those. There's a time I think I did CA.
That's really wonderful to hear, Mr. Sengupta. I just wanted to ask you one more thing, because a lot of young professionals see our talk show. As you also mentioned that sports law and art law is evolving, and when I mentioned that you are into it, I used the word niche spaces. If you can sort of elaborate what really comes under art law for those young professionals that are watching, that would be really helpful for them.
Yeah, art law. What you are into? That there are two aspects to that. Now, art can be, first thing is art can be in any form. That is the biggest challenge to it. Art can be in form of paintings. Art can be in form of a statue. Art can be in form of any damn thing. In form of NFT, those are a form of art that digital form. That's what we are looking at. Now, worldwide, digital art is still not regulated. I tell you, it's very, very scarce. It's not much you have. But in the traditional field, that is the statues and those mementos, if you have any, and then paintings. Of course, paintings have a lot of market there. Paintings, so that those have a very set practice. Now, how it is. So what do we do when we acquire a property? So there are three things that are attached to a property. One is the right, one is the title, and one is the interest over the property. Now, right, title, and interest we determine in a supposedly in a you're taking a land, you're taking a plant, you're taking a land for factory, you're setting up a factory. So what do you check? You check the person who is selling, he has the right title or interest on. It is same in the art. Absolutely same in that. How that person has acquired it, what is the authenticity? Now there are two aspects to it. One is the legality, and second is the technicality. Now technical part is handled by the expert, that is there. What do you handle legality? Now the history, how you have traced it, that is one. Now where did it originated? How it has transpired its journey. Say supposedly you are sending, there is a list of persons which you cannot take out of the country. There are list of persons which you cannot take out of our country even. So there is a list of these persons. If you are these are the persons, if they are artists of a sculpture or a painting, you cannot take that out of country. It is barred by law. So supposedly a foreigner comes, the foreign national comes here and he wants to buy a Ganesh Pine painting. He cannot do that. Even he can do that, but he cannot take it out of the country. It cannot leave the boundary. That is something very interesting. That is one. Now, secondly, if they don't have now there are ancient sculptures, ancient idols. You may have regularly that belongs to a particular person. Now, what is the legality concerning that? Whether it belongs to a trust or a particular mandir, whether it comes under the ASI laws for banned items that can be transacted. If not, whether who is empowered to transfer that particular. Say there is some sculptures lying inside. We have a lot of temples, some sculptures lying there, some paintings there. The mandir trust decides to sell it out. Okay, and they do it. Now, if it is not a, there is a regulated category of the ASI, that whether you can do it or not. If it doesn't come under that, then you can sell it. But then, are they authorized to sell it? Who is authorized to sell it? Whether the trust or one person or the president? Who is? So that legality we have to check in. Then prepare an authentic documentation, give a certification to that, and there is a deed of transfer that happens. It is same as any other property. So the due diligence, etc. Yes, because but that is yet to be very much prevalent in India, because see, a person will only engage a lawyer if he is buying a 1 crore, 2 crore painting. Not other than that. If he's buying a 1 lakh painting, he will not engage his mind so much. So then the
that's very
market
right.
is niche. Then the market is niche. But yes, scopes are arising, as in sports law also. Scopes are arising. See, if you see NBA, NBAs, etc. Every other Premier League, everywhere you go, they have a set lawyers, set doctors, everything. Now, sports law is a huge application of law. Now, tournament, how the tournament rules are going to be, how the team management are going to be. There is a policy for everything. There is a HR policy, there is a travel policy for everything that has to be looked. There is the compliance part. Now into the legalities, you sign a document with everyone. Brand documentations are being individual. That's also we do. Brand individual documents are being signed individually with the persons, with the players, also with the team. So you may have seen 5 players out of the RCB, etc. They are doing this Kingfisher ad, whatever ad. So there are many ads that comes on. So those are all branding documentation. Those branding documents have a huge role to play. Now, with the advent of mainly IPL and this ISL, and then the Pro Kabaddi League and the Badminton League, all those things are there. People have started realizing the potential, because there are huge contractual disputes that has led into it with the players, between the player, with the tournament committee. So to avoid that, that law is getting settled day by day. So we are reaching there. So that is something as also a very good, but that is a much more larger scope there.
Great, Mr. Sengupta. Thank you very much for shedding some light on the sports law and the art law. It was really interesting for us to learn about it, and I guess same goes for the viewers. My next question was about something that comes in a very natural way from a lawyer of your experience. It's about the legal system, and which is infamous for its shortcomings in providing justice to the common man. In addition to an overburdened court, 2020 actually led to a pandemic, which brought a lot of positive disruption, but it also resulted in more challenges faced by the system. So this was a statement. My question actually is, what are some of the challenges faced by the legal system, and what do you feel we can do to improve the same?
Yeah, I know that that lawyers are always, the system, legal system is also infamous. You see every time in movies and etc. Your famous dialogue of Tariq pe Tariq, I remember.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. No. So what I call this is not a shortcoming. I call this is a process of evolution. So as society changes, things changes. The system is evolving anytime. Yes, there are certain things that we as a lawyer in the bench seem that it may have been justified to see if we can remove this one. There is obviously, first part is the delay. That is delay in the providing the justice, delay in getting the matters heard, getting the listed, and then the adjournments are very. But I tell you, people are much more. The system has much more developed in that sense. The adjustments are much more rarer these days. Not much adjournment being taken and allowed, but that's in Delhi and etc. But yes, outside also there are. But what particularly, and what I personally feel I've ever seen, that the documentation part was a huge burden that was used to do. we still have a older system of documentation where we give all the documents and then this is being checked, that is being that multiplies the problems each time, every time. So it's important now how to erase this one. So it is the duty of the lawyers as well as the judiciary and everyone. It's not a one person's job. It has to be a collaborative collaborative effort to do this thing. Now, what happens? I tell you, with the advent of these e-courts, it has been really a challenge. The technology has brought in something which we, even in pre-COVID era, we used to function in a particular way. See, this interview, we are very much familiar. We first time we got to knew about Zoom is during this pandemic things. So I should thank Zoom also. So bringing us in the same page here. So the procedure of e-filing, what I feel should be encouraged. The time should be less. There are softwares and apps who are doing much making it much simplifier. I'm not going to details that will end this discussion. That is one. Secondly, is what I have seen that in our colleges we are not taught the practicalities of the law. How to practice, not law, practicalities of how to practice. So if you join a person, if you join a profession, at least 3-4 years you will take to understand how the things function. That and moot court doesn't help you, helps us. As of course it is a necessary part, but for the practicality, there has to be classes. The young budding lawyers, there has to be classes which understand, say, how to file. If you intend to file, how to file. Doesn't any college teach you? They will not. Now these are very small things, but small things add up to a very big, large chunk of things. Now this will save time. That is one. E-courts have been fantastic these days. Judges have been improvised. We should be thankful to the judiciary that they have done this. That is wonderful. So that is it. And another aspect I would like to highlight is that many people who are who cannot access justice because of the financial stress or any other way. So there pro bono, there are some certain NGOs and the government level who are doing some pro bono work, but I think there's certain percentage should be made mandatory to practice lawyers. They should do the pro bono work, at least 1 or 2 in the market, so that everyone at least gets the justice. Because I tell you, justice is a very what should I say? It still is a notion that it's a costly affair. So that is there. And secondly, use of technology should, of course, be much more be done into the law. That is, after post-pandemic era, it has increased, of course, but it should be more. We are already in the hybrid system and etc. You know, interestingly, in any given day during the COVID, we used to do one matter sitting here in our chamber. I used to do one matter in Gujarat High Court, in Supreme Court, in NCLT, in Calcutta. So you are omnipresent everywhere through technology. That increases. Otherwise, what has happened? If I have gone to Gujarat, I had to take adjournment in 3 days or some other arrangement. So that would have suffered. These 3 cases would have suffered. So that is something we should continue.
That's it. I mean, that is the one view that we have received actually from a lot of lawyers, and according to them, it also sort of increased the access to justice for a lot of people.
Yes. See, I'll tell you in a very BA. If I'm doing an arbitration, one arbitrator sitting in Himachal Pradesh recently, just Diwali, one arbitrator sitting in London, one arbitrator sitting in here in Delhi, and another in Himachal Pradesh. All 3 from the panel. I'm from Delhi. The other person was from Mumbai. So 5 person sitting in 5 geographical locations doing it one way without any cost, zero cost, savings everyone's time, everyone cost, everything. So that is something is huge. Otherwise, if all these people has been assembled, there will be a huge cost on the clients and etc. That is one, and everyone has to travel. This whole day, other affairs is gone with that. So that is something
that's a very
very
beautiful way
wonderful.
to look at it.
Yes,
I'll definitely come to the legal technology aspect of it. I mean, I'm no one to add to your answer. It was a beautiful answer, but I somewhere feel, because now I'm sort of in middle of lawyers every time. I also feel that there is a lack of awareness of law in common men. You see, it's still a saying in my family, at least. It's not good to have lawyers or police as your friend or as your enemy. I mean, don't have them near you. That is one thing that I am hearing. I guess my father was hearing from his father, and I'm hearing from my father. So that
even
is
in
one
my
awareness
family,
everyone needs.
I am the first generation lawyer. So even in my family, keep away from lawyers and doctors.
So yeah, that is one notion.
Uh,
I guess we need some
uh,
awareness on that. Talking about the access to justice, I mentioned that. Um, how would you rate the current legal system's drive towards encouraging access to justice? And is there a tangible movement in closing that, in closing justice gap?
See, this is a very interesting question. I tell you, with advent of technology, with advent of the quality of lawyers, I tell you, the quality of lawyers are getting better day by day. I'm very hopeful with this young advocates that are coming into the profession. Yes, they are a very intelligent breed. Pardon me for the word use breed, but we say it like that. So very intelligent breed. They need to be guided properly. Now coming back to the access of justice. Yes, I will carry forward what I told you about the last, that pro bono work and etc. I've seen many young lawyers. One lady was there. She actually left our firm for this drive. I very respect her, that she moved to Bangalore to be in an NGO who does a child support. When they rescues the child. In who is in a dire condition and etc. And there are many kinds of this atrocities that happen on these children. So her organization does that specifically. They rescue. They keep on coming to us for any one or two aspects. But then she has left that. She has taken that challenge. That is wonderful of her. I've seen many lawyers going through different movements. I personally know a person who goes back in Bengal, goes to the rural areas, teaches about laws. That what are your rights? So that is something very much impactful on the persons whom they are teaching. We, sitting in an urban area, may not be that thoughtful about the fact, but a person sitting in a very remote rural area, he will not understand what is the fundamental rights are even. So what are his rights? What are his equalities? He has a right to a plethora of laws which you can't access. We have seen all type of things there. We have seen those. Our social system is that you keep on coming with all these kind of things. That is one. Now, one thing I always think that why do people tend to keep away? In India, they actually think that we are not a litigating person by our nature. We don't want to say that yes, you will do this. We don't go into disputes. We do a sort of sort it out and etc. That is something coming from our fathers and etc. Now lawyers are completely opposite to that. So that may be in, but that was in the fun side. Now the legal justice. I think that not only the young lawyers, I personally know many senior lawyers who has done this pro bono work. They are also affiliated with many NGOs and etc. So yes, the process is on, but like every other process, it is not a day's job. It is going to take time, but people are much more aware. If you can see, the media coverage of the courts have much more been into news these days. The media coverage back in our childhood, don't remember, or in our teens, even I don't remember. There is such so much of media coverage. The judges are coming out with their books, with their views on the subjects, on the topics, in the Twitters. So it's a assimilation that is happening. Yes, the process has started. Yes, but it is a time-taking process. But I am very hopeful that this will all create a very good ecosystem, so that there is a conducive environment for access to the justice.
That's a very beautiful answer, Sengupta. Thank you very much for that. Before this, we were also talking about aspects of legal tech that brings a lot with it. So,
Yes.
and as I said, that the pandemic ironically brought a lot of positive disruptions, and legal technology was one of them. And we are standing in
Correct.
the middle of it now. What are the most commonly used tools for you in the era of legal technology?
See, I tell you, I'll answer it in a wholesome manner. So it's all started with the search platforms. So earlier you used to have to refer to the books and etc. Now the SCC online, then there is Manopatra started with that. Then there are e-journals. In every court today you have a e-journal. Then that is one part. That is the judgments part, which we lawyers can rely upon. Then I recently came through a very good platform, that is LegisQuest. They have a very updated one about the opinion and the judgments, and so it is a lot of help in that. That is one aspect. Secondly, from that those tools are being used, and then you can write your thoughts, put out in thoughts into these apps these days. The bar and bench, then in the live law is there. You can get all the updates what's happening in the court. And then we have a beautiful magazine, Lex Witness, which we do a lot of. I personally have written many articles there in Lex Witness. I've written in bar and bench, so you can access them. So media coverage, that of course increase. That those tools are being commonly used in India. But what I see is an absent, which is commonly used outside. That is the AI-based technology. Now, what happens? There's a difference in outside. I mean, outside means I'm speaking about the UK, the European countries, and as well as the US. There, the litigation outcome is almost predictable in nature. Here, there is an unpredictability nature in the litigation. So, in litigation sector, the AI is much more less used. That is in India. That is for sure, and that situation may not change in the near future. But in the documentation part, I would definitely like to see a more use of AI, because that is a more predictable outcome there. But there, that low tech AI are being used in our firm also. But yes, improvement should come. That is one. And apart from that, those the every other courts, different courts have the websites now, the filings, now. So you can update these loads are there. That has it has, because in earlier days we used to run from court to court in our junior days. See matter number 15 here, and then there's no display board at that point of time. Not even a display board in the courts. Forget about the internet while you were checking in the sitting there. So this code, this number, and the downstairs three 3 floors downstairs, so there is this number. So those days are gone. Obviously, it has shortened the time. Research is much more focused and shortened by using these tools. But then use of AI should, artificial intelligence should be the next big thing, next big tool that should come to India.
That is a very beautiful answer, Mr. Sengupta. And I guess I keep on repeating it again and again after every answer because it is a fact. So thank you very much for again for putting this. There are a lot of names that I haven't heard, and I heard it from you. So I guess this would be helpful for a lot of lawyers who are watching it and sort of check out other platforms.
That would be a privilege.
Yeah, that would be a privilege for us as well to sort of know it coming from experienced lawyer like yourself. And now a very common question that I ask from a lot of lawyers, uh, which is about time management. And to put it very formally, we always say, and I guess they say that time is money in any profession, and in legal, it's most of all. I mean, just to have a segue out of it,
So you
I
can
recently.
bill by hour. You can do
Yes,
hourly
yes, yes.
billing.
That is I was going through. I very recently sort of went to a survey and we realized that in Asian market we do not know our value. I mean, as a common man, we don't know our value because we don't know the hour wages that we get. However, in States and UK, in European countries, their point is what's your wage hourly? So $10 an hour and such things
Correct.
like that.
I agree.
This is the same way the lawyers work. How do you ensure to uh, make maximum out of your time and make best use of your time as a lawyer?
I tell you, as a lawyer, you have to be a man, as a professional, I mean, a practicing professional, you have to be a manager, good manager. Apart from being a good advocate, you have to be a good manager, good administrator. You have to do a lot of things. You have to know a bit of accounts. So, as a partner of the firm, I have to look into all those aspects and still find time to do the opinions to the matters for the year. So, time management is something it should be learned from day one. If you don't if you're not inculcating that one into your regime, then you may not be that much successful, or you may find it challenging to uh, strive forward. That is one. Now, for young, but what I used to make a priority list. One list that is a general list. One is the priority list. Now there are plethora of apps there which you can maintain through. So take help whatever suits you. That is one. And one thing, and another thing, uh, uh, as a professional, you should always be very much focused about your job. I find it very hard in multitasking. So as a professional, you should allot your time that I will do this drafting in 30 minutes. So it may be 35 minutes, it may be 40 minutes. But if you are doing that, you will complete it in that year. That is one. Now, secondly, the client's aspect. Understanding what a client is saying, what is his requirement is very important. So you may not, so you have to bridge a gap. What is the legality and the client's requirement? The client will come and ask you anything. So you have to make him understand that there is a certain requirement and etc. Now, time management has got a very important relation with this. How I'm telling you, you need to give a customized and detailed attention to your client. Sorry, but keeping a view in the time also. We do in our markets, we don't much do a time billing, yes, but then you don't have a umpteen number of times. You need to know which matter you are focusing. Now there are two types of matter that comes in. A regular matter which doesn't need your much more attention. It's a regular job that you will do. And there's a specialized kind of matter which needs studies, which needs opinion formation. Along with that, you have to see as a professional what do you do. You have to do the billing in a firm, even in a you means your support system may do it, but still you have to instruct it. So billing, administration. So devote some time for that, most time for your study, and then you have to find some time for your studies for self-growth. Study means not only law, and then there is an important part in a lawyer's life is to socialize. As a professional, young professional, you must socialize. Because if you are not socializing, people are not going to know you. If you are people they don't know you, how better you are a person, how good a lawyer, they're not going to give you a case. It is a completely matter. You want to grow as an individual, grow as a lawyer, you must socialize. It's not that every day, but of course you have to find time for that with your clients, with everyone. So, and another thing, when we rise in the rank, what I found very challenging, that is delegation. To delegate a work, because I do a work in my satisfaction. Now there is no guarantee that your junior will do the same satisfaction. Train your junior. So train your person, mentor. So there comes the second aspect, mentoring the young lawyers. So you have to mentor everyone also. So manager, administrator, advocate, mentor, and the student also. So you have to, and you are going do and socializing also. So you have to do all this in 24 hours of time. That is something you have to do.
You have to get time for yourself. You have to also sleep, eat, and do a lot of stuff.
And grooming yourself. You have to groom also.
That's right. That's right. Brilliant. Last question is a bit personal question, if you allow me to ask that. You see, as we see that you joined the firm as associate, and with your hard work, you're now the equity partner of Jalan. How do you see the legal profession evolving in the coming years? That's first, in a generic sense. And where do you see yourself in the future of the legal industry?
See, firstly, the general one is I suppose law, as I mentioned earlier, it's very dynamic subject, ever evolving. It keeps on evolving. Now it's a very in crossroad of an innovation, and it's changing the e-courts, etc. And it's a really crossroad. Our generation is very fortunate, I tell you. We are the conduit between the old system, traditional system, and the new innovative system. So we are a witness to that. I consider myself blessed with that. So that is one part. Second is, of course, I would like to see the use of more technology in law. That is one. The simpler laws, of course. We have multiplicity of laws. There are some views and thoughts about simplification of laws. Just the other day, our Honorable Prime Minister mentioned that we need a simplification of laws. That is something we all want, simplification of laws that will create money that will what should I say, remove all on many hassles from day to day. And coming back to your access to the justice, that will help in that also. Correct. So that is there. Now, future legal industry, I suppose, would be very mature. There will be a competitive space, new laws coming in. Now, the cryptocurrencies are here, then the regulation aspect, NFTs, then the blockchains, and there is, I forgot to mention the data privacy. Those laws were coming up like anything. So these will, the sports law, art law, just be mentioned. These things will find a very big space in Indian legal system in coming 5-10 years. The contractual issues are going to over shape of legal traditional. So what I think it will be a blend of traditional as well as a new industry, new legal sectors. That is, NCLT has changed a lot the scenario. So that is, and my personal growth will continue. What I intend to, that I have a long standing wish. I don't know how far yet, to set up a some kind of program which will bridge the gap for the personal the professional lawyers, which will bridge the gap between what we study in the college and what is the practical legal practicing world. So there some kind of institution. The Indian ecosystem lacks, Indian legal ecosystem lacks that kind of institution. So a young professional entering into that the practice, what will it will ensure the enrichment of the practice. The quality of lawyers will be much more better. So that establishment, that is my goal, to establish that kind of institute. So we are still forming ideas and etc. To that is my goal, and whatever I'm doing presently, of course, time is money.
Mr. Gupta, I mean, this is, so far what we have discussed and what we have learned, and I've been in touch with Mr. Sengupta for quite some time now, and what I've learned is, in fact, about the whole firm, Saran&Co. It's there's a very beautiful line in a movie, in an Indian movie, which I generally repeat, that it's legal fraternity. It's not a business of justice; it's a business of law. That's one. And you can judge a person based on his approach, his or her approach. And you seems to be more of a value addition person, from a very personal touch. Whatever I have heard, whatever I have seen out of you. So this has been a great discussion, Mr. Gupta, and thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for sharing such great insights with us. And we look forward to having a chat with you again in the future on some other trending topics in the international legal industry.
Thank you. I'll just add one line to this.
Sure,
This is
sure.
all because what my seniors have taught me through the years. Our firm is a very homely based, organic growth happens. So a person joining as junior asset can become an equity partner. I have become. My immediate senior, Mr. Ghosh, he has also been like that. This is an extremely wonderful person, wonderful opportunity that a person gets here.
And we're going to have that. Surprisingly, Mr. Saurav Ghosh will also be on the session,
Okay.
and we're going to do his. He'll be part of the talk show very soon, so we're going to learn his angle of legal fraternity as well. So let's see
Yes, yes.
how the junior senior thing works there. But
Correct.
thank you very much for the session today,
Thank you.
Mr. N. Gupta. We really enjoyed the session, and for our viewers, if you like this chat with Mr. Samrat Sengupta, I want you to like this video strictly and share this video and click on that red button to subscribe to Click Away Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do. And you have more coming in from legal industry leaders like Mr. Samrat Sengupta himself. This was Sagar for LexTalk World signing off.